The book of 2 Kings chapter 4 beginning from verse 8 says, 2 Kings chapter 4 verse 8. 2 Kings chapter 4 verse 8 quickly. And it fell on a particular day that Elisha passed to Shunem, where was a great woman, and she constrained him to eat bread. And so it was that as oft as he passed by, he turned in thither to eat bread. And she said unto her husband, Behold, now I perceive that this is a holy man of God, which passeth by continually. Let us make a little chamber, I pray thee, on the wall, and let us set for him a bed there, and a table, and a stool, and a candlestick. And it shall be, when he cometh to us, that he shall turn in thither. It fell on a day that he came thither, and he turned into the chamber and lay there. And he said to Gehazi his servant, Call this Shunammite. And when he had called her, she stood before him. And he said to him, Say now unto her, Behold, thou hast been careful for us with all this care. What is to be done for you? Wouldst thou be spoken for a king or the captain of the host? And she answered, and he said, what then is to be done for her? And Gehazi answered, Verily she has no child, and her husband is old. And he said to her, Call her. And when he had called her, she stood in the door. And he said, About this season, according to the time of life, thou shalt embrace her son. And she said, Nay, my Lord, thou man of God, do not lie unto thy handmaid. And the woman conceived and bore a son at the season that Elijah had said unto her, according to the time. May the good Lord bless her. Lesson number 1. When you invite the pastor for lunch, you might get a blessing. It's the Bible, it's not me. Anyway, you don't want blessings. The Bible tells us of an experience of Elisha, who used to pass by a town named Shunem. Scholars think that whenever he would pass there, he would go to the Mount of Carmel, where there was what we call School of the Prophets. And every time he would pass by this town, a prestigious woman from that particular town invited her in. From time to time, he would come just for a day or so as a visitor. But the woman then tells her husband, "No, man, it is not right that we just give the man of God food, but we don't give him a place of rest." So then she asks her husband, "Is it not right? I like it in the NIV that we build him an upper chamber, so that every time he would come and pass, the man of God will retire and rest." And for such hospitality, Elisha then turns to Gehazi, his servant, and says, "There's something special about this woman. What should we do for her?" Gehazi says, "I'll call her." And it's interesting, as the man of God then asks this woman, "Give the command, even if it's the word of the king that you want us to bring down to you. Tell me, I shall do it now. Even if it's the host of the captain's directive that you need. Tell me, I will usher that now." But the woman says, "It is well with my soul." I wish the church is here. The lady goes. But Elisha says, "No. We should do something special for this woman." Gehazi then says, "My Lord, the woman is barren. She is of no child. Apart from that, her husband is old of age. Even if it were possible, he can't perform." Elijah says, "Call her. This is the God that we serve." The excuses that we give to God are the stepping stones sometimes that God uses to show his possibility. And he says, "Call the woman." And he said, "Assuredly, although you have not requested it, next year by this time, you shall bear a son." And the Bible says she bore a son. Now it is interesting when you look at the life of Elisha. You can't speak about Elisha without speaking about Elijah. And when you look at the character of Elijah, Elijah was this great man in the nation of Israel. He performed mighty things. He did many exploits. But the Bible says, because man is finite, is short, life is breve, there is brevity attached to life. In that life is short. God had the purpose to translate the man of God. And the Bible says, upon that particular time, when Elijah was getting ready to be taken up by the chariot of fire, Elisha chose to attach himself. It's as if Elijah was saying, "My Lord, I can't permit you to go. I am not ready to let you go. There is still a lot that I need to learn from you. There is still much that I need to understand from you." But Elijah said, I have to go. And the Bible says Elijah went. And Elisha remained. You see, scholars allude to the fact that when they study the miracles that were done by Elijah in comparison to Elisha, they realized that Elisha did more miracles than Elijah. That Elisha did more powerful miracles than Elijah. Which helps us understand that sometimes in life we hook ourselves so much to people that we look up to people to do the things that we can do ourselves better by the aid of the Lord. And Elijah's translation seems to communicate. If Elijah does not go, Elisha cannot grow. As long as Elijah was still on earth, Elisha would not have met his potential. As long as Elijah was still alive, Elisha could not have made miracles. So Elijah had to go in order for Elisha to grow. The church is not. And so the church of God, they put themselves into people's lives. And at the end of the day, they don't realize the potential that God has instilled in them. And God is telling you as He's telling me, child of God, I know Elisha still has to teach you. I know Elijah still needs to encourage you. I know you can still learn a lot from Elijah. But if Elijah does not go, you cannot grow. And so who's that Elijah in your life? I'm speaking to women who are so attached to abusive and toxic partners. And they say, if Elijah goes, who will feed my child? If Elijah goes, who will pay the rent? If Elijah goes, who can lead my life? But God is saying, let Elijah go. Because there is a God that was behind Elijah. That even when Elijah goes, the God of Elijah still remains. And so Elijah must go in order for Elisha to go. I'm not there. I'm not the master. And so the Bible tells us, in conclusion, this man, he then gets reception, extended reception. The lady says, this man cannot just come, eat, and go. We need to build him an upper chamber in order for him to rest. And this is where we are landing. You see, in Oriental, in older times, the Jews were receptive people because of their forefather Abraham. Because of the reception and hospitality of Abraham. When he entertained those men that he didn't know were angels, the Jews then learned, if you become hospitable, you might accommodate angels. And if you accommodate angels, they might pronounce a blessing upon you, like they pronounced a blessing on Abraham. And so the Jews were careful about visitors, so much so that they were willing to sacrifice themselves in order for them to please their visitors. Now you understand the story of Lot, eh? When the man came for these two angels, Lot even said, I have daughters. Please take them instead of this. That's how much Jews respected visitors. In actual fact, so much did they respect visitors that they even chose to build them upper chambers. Why? Because when trouble befalls the house, the Jews, they thought that in order for us to save the visitors, let the danger first come to us before the neighbors in the upper room. So number one, as we close, upper rooms is a status that you are building. That's why Jesus Christ commemorated the Lord's Supper in the upper room. He wanted to teach the disciples, as you will be eating this supper, remind yourselves, this is not your home. The problems of this world, they won't be forever. No matter what you go through in life, your status of being in the upper room, you are looking the challenges of life in his face and telling them, you might challenge us today, but a day is coming. Because this is not our home, Jesus is coming to take us. You see, and so there are people, whenever we have Holy Communion, today I'm not feeling like. Do you know what you're saying? It's as if you are saying, I am not a visitor. This world is my home. I don't want to be a visitor. I'm comfortable to be here. So leave me alone. This is my home. And the disciples knew the only way to look forward to that kingdom to come is if you declare the public declaration that this world is not our home. So they went up in the upper chamber, the chamber of the visitors. I wish somebody was here. Number two is we close. Remember, the Jews were willing to put themselves on the line before the visitors. That's why they told the visitors, we are not making you a room here down. Because when we make you a room here, when the danger comes, you will die. Therefore, we will make you a room there, up there, so that when danger comes, the danger must first attack us before it reaches you. I wish I was speaking to somebody. That here on this table, Jesus Christ invites us to the upper chamber, where he says, I'm inviting you in my home, so that when the challenges of life come, before they come to you, they first have to come to you. Before the pains of life assail you, before they touch you, they must first touch me. I wish I was speaking to someone who is saying, today I'm not feeling like taking. What you are basically saying is, you don't want Jesus to be in front of you. But somebody says, Lord, I want you to be my shield. Lord, I want you to be my banner. Lord, I want you to be my forerunner. So that the challenges that might assail me, Lord, bear them for me. And so God says, you need to come to the church. And so the invitation is made. Please don't stay in the streets. Don't stay in the streets. The streets. Don't stay downstairs. Come up. And make a public declaration as we partake. This world is not our home. We are waiting for the kingdom to come. And by you partaking, you are simply telling Jesus, Jesus, give me the upper chamber, so that when the danger comes, you might sacrifice yourself before the danger gets. And so may the good God bless us, even as we pray.